Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Great to have you with us. Make sure you're checking out our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We have the links to the best European and Asian bookmaker sites, as well as United States bookmaker sites as well. Remember, you're here to take your love of sports to the next level. And remember, on our website, you have easy access to the Bookmaker 101 basics, steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. The Bookmaker Guide is available to download. We even have betting picks, strategies, and tips. And don't forget about our A to Z sports betting lingo. Remember, last week I told you about draw, no bet. And if you're paying attention to the 2017 FIFA Confederations Cup that's going on in Russia, and I'm focusing on Group B in particular, the group that had Germany, Chile, Australia, and Cameroon, 3 of the final 4 group phase matches ended in 1-1 draws. So, just want to let you know about that. And we will start off this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast with some more A to Z sports betting lingo. So, what are we going to be talking about today? What is our concept? It is chalk eater. And let me be clear about this. This does not involve finding some chalk and actually eating it. Although my 8th grade science teacher in middle school, he did eat chalk, but that's beside the point. Anyways, so if you are a chalk eater, it means you are a person who bets only on the favorites. So don't forget this term. If you're always betting on the favorites, then consider yourself a chalk eater. All right, next, for those of you who pay attention to sports in the United States, we know that hockey and basketball have been done for a few weeks, but what about baseball? So who are the favorites to go all the way? Look, the baseball season is long, but right now it's summertime, so there's a lot of baseball to watch. But I'm on 888sport.com. That's www.888sport.com. And I'm just taking a look at who are the teams favored to take the World Series for the 2017 Major League Baseball season. Looking at the top 3 over here, you got the Houston Astros 4-1, Chicago Cubs 6-1. Can the Cubs possibly go back-to-back after finally ending that long curse? That would be amazing. Next, you got the Boston Red Sox 7-1. And also, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Washington Nationals, both 7-1 for the odds to take home the World Series. But let's go all the way down to the very bottom. For those of you who feel like taking a big risk, or maybe just like placing a few bucks or a few euros, whatever it is you spend on the teams that basically have no chance, but you never know. What if they get hot? Those teams at the very bottom, you got the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres, 1,500-1. Wow. They definitely are not looking good. But like I said, you never know what could happen. Or maybe you want to go with the San Francisco Giants, 1,000-1. Wow. That would be quite the payout if you put a few bucks on them and they suddenly turn it around. So like I said, that's 888sport.com. Don't forget. Next, shifting gears a bit, let's see what's going on with UEFA Europa League qualifying. Yes, basically like a month ago, Europa League just finished. But remember, the teams from the lower leagues have to qualify to get to the 2017-2018 UEFA Europa League. And there's a lot of games going on the 29th of June, so we'll go over a few of them. First, you got AEK Larnaca of Cyprus hosting the Lincoln Red Imps. And who are the Lincoln Red Imps? They come from Gibraltar. You know, I feel like I have to mention this game because last year, the Lincoln Red Imps defeated Celtic of Scotland. Yes, it's true. They defeated them in a UEFA Champions League qualifier. I mean, that was such an upset. Amazing. But let's look at the odds over here. Showing here 1-10 for Larnaca, 8-1 for a draw, and 12-1 for Lincoln. So that's a game right there where if you want to go for the favorite, you know it's going to be Larnaca. Next, you got Punic Yerevan hosting Slovan Bratislava of Slovakia. Punic Yerevan are from Armenia. So that game will be played in Armenia. 9-2 for Punic, 4-7 for a draw, 13-5 for Slovan Bratislava. So Slovan Bratislava is slightly favored, but I think that could be a good matchup between the two teams. You never know what could happen. Next, you have Lech Poznan of Poland hosting Pelister Bitola of Macedonia. No surprise here that Lech Poznan are favored. The odds here show 1-7 for Lech Poznan, 11-2 for a draw, 14-1 for Pelister. And for Pelister Bitola of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, they have not really produced very many good teams, so that would be a huge upset if that match were not to finish with Lech Poznan winning. Next, let's go over to Hungary. You got Ferencvárosi hosting Jelgava of Latvia. The odds here show 2-7 for Ferencvárosi, 15-4 for a draw, 17-2 for Jelgava. The Latvian club, heavy underdogs. Another match I want to mention, you got Kairat Almaty of Kazakhstan hosting Atlantas Klaipėda of Lithuania. So the Kazakh club, known as Kairat Almaty, the odds here show 1-8. They are definitely favored. 6-1 for a draw, 14-1 for Atlantas Klaipėda, a club from Lithuania. Kind of interesting here. You got clubs here from two former Soviet republics going at it. Clearly, I would like to say for this match that Kairat Almaty definitely should come out winners on that one. And all that here is from bet365.com. That's www.bet365.com. I remember earlier when I mentioned our A to Z sports betting lingo, I gave you 5 games here. And remember, for those of you who are chalk eaters, meaning those of you who like betting on the favorites, you'd have to put your money on AEK Larnaca, Slovan Bratislava, Lech Poznan, Ferencvárosi, and Kairat Almaty. Go to bet365.com to check out the rest of the matchups for UEFA Europa League qualifying. Like I said, if you're in the mood to bet on the favorites, make sure you get there right away. Place your bets. You could have a very big payday. And before we continue, make sure you check out our website. The address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. On our website, you have easy access to the Bookmaker 101 Basics. That includes steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. Our Bookmaker Guide is available to download. Read through it at least 2 or 3 times. Remember, I want you to become an expert on this whole entire online sports betting process. And remember, we have betting strategies, tips. Don't forget about our A to Z sports betting lingo. Remember, you may not sound like an expert just yet, but keep on listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. Check out our website, and you'll be good to go. Now, let's get back to the 2017 FIFA Confederations Cup. The first semifinal already took place. Portugal and Chile finished 0-0 and went to penalty shootout. Chile actually won 3-0. For the Portuguese, Ricardo Quaresma, João Moutinho, and Nani, all 3 of them missed their penalties. No joke, if you could believe that. And you know what? I'm glad that Chile won, because the way Portugal has played in recent tournaments, man, they've just been so boring. Just lots of defense, maybe winning on 1 goal in stoppage time or winning on a penalty shootout. And it's not a surprise, knowing that their head coach is actually Fernando Santos. And Fernando Santos was once head coach of Greece. So yes, enough said there. As for the second semifinal, that'll take place on Thursday, the 29th of June. You got Germany against Mexico. I'm on Pinnacle.com. That's www.pinnacle.com. What are the odds saying here? For Germany, the payout is 2.060. For a draw, it's 3.750. And for Mexico, it is 3.740. So I'll be quick to say that Germany are favored a bit here against Mexico. But as I've mentioned in another podcast, is that the Germans have not really brought that great of a national team. There's probably, you could say, one of my friends said it's probably their B+ team, if you want to call it that. I think Mexico has a chance to win that, and I definitely would not be surprised if they do win it. So, going to be a tough one, but like I said, go to Pinnacle.com. And also for the next game I want to mention, the Euro Under-21 final will be taking place on Friday, the 30th of June, and that match will be contested by Spain and Germany. I'm on Pinnacle as well. The payout here shows 1.884 for Spain, 3.780 for a draw, and 4.359 for Germany. Clearly the Spanish are favored here, and the player to watch is a man they call Saul. He leads the tournament with 5 goals. He scored a hat trick in the semifinal as Spain defeated Italy 3-1. Saul plays his club football in La Liga in Spain for Atletico Madrid. And for those of you who watch a lot of television, maybe you've heard of that show, Better Call Saul, but in this case, it's Better Call Saul. All right, everybody, that's it for this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Really glad you were able to join us. Make sure you're checking out our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. If you want to have all the latest sports betting information right in front of you. Remember, you don't need to go to casino unless you're really in the mood to hear this.
Changing 500!
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.